right, I got a story for you. 440, dude. 440. You're like, nah, it's 420, dude. Nah, it's 440. All right, here you go. Story. Got a real story for you. Malibu Beach. You know, I'm just out there taking some pictures. I've always loved photography, obviously, but you know, I kind of now. Sorry, dude. I got this GPS. It's telling me how to drive, telling me where to go. What do we do before? Like it's literally telling me to drive 700 feet and turn right. So I mean, literally, what do we do before GPS? I mean, before we were guided every second of the way. I mean, in fact, a quick story about that. I was in La Jolla, and I was in In-N-Out eating some burgers. Holla, thank you, Mom. You know, I sat down and like there was this Hispanic woman and this gentleman next to me, and had I think it was a young daughter, or maybe his sister or something, I don't know. Anyway, I sat down and I noticed that they prayed at In-N-Out, which you don't see every day, especially in La Jolla. And I just sort of, you know, I'm an Indian, so I sort of, you know, when they said amen, I did something to acknowledge. And we were talking about GPS stuff, and we're talking about, you know, what do we do before technology, you know? And they're talking about folding maps, and I'm like, you know, and I pointed this, their sister, I don't know how old she was, but, you know, 12, 13, whatever, and I said, you know, she'll never know what it's like to fold a map, you know, when you unfold a map and you refold it, and so anyway, how technology has changed our lives. All right, 440, dude, let's go to that. I'm in Malibu Beach, and taking pictures with my Nikon, you know, dusting that D90 off, and I think now they have like a Nikon, you know, 9000 XB Photon, but I just still have my D90, and I took my 50 millimeter lens off because it's a manual, and I love the 50 mil manual, but sometimes I just want to take pictures and I want them to turn out, and I don't want to have to worry about fucking with it. And anyway, so this 440 dude guy walks by, and he, I don't know, somehow, you know, he said something about thanking you for the water, you know, because he's walking, and he picked up a jug of water, and he thought it was mine, and I thought maybe he might be homeless, and so you know, and then I'm in my truck, and I'm like, I hope this, you know, there's always that, like, okay, this guy's coming towards me with water, you know, and he asked me, he goes, is that your water? And I said, no. I said, you know, and then I asked if he was, if I could take his picture, because I'm in my truck, and he's walking by on the Malibu Beach. And anyway, long story short, you know, he goes, well, can I make it a good one? And at that point, I'm like, well, fuck yeah, you know, make it a good picture. I mean, that's kind of what I want my photography to be good. And then I thought, holy fuck, I thought maybe he thought I was mocking him or something. And I thought, holy shit, I'm about to get some water thrown on me. And then he just fucking, like, he's like, all right. And then he clowns like fuck, like clowns, dude, like sticks his ears out. And I was not expecting that, because, you know, for one, anyway. And so he goes from clown, and then I'm trying to take pictures, and I can't. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy, and this is the perfect black and white, boom, boom, boom. And anyway, he doesn't do it. And then he puts the things down, and then I said, man, I missed that. I said, sorry, dude, I'm still trying to figure this shit out. And then he just smiles naturally, and you know, and I'm a dad, and I'll always be a dad, and I have a dad's heart, and I said to him, I said, man, you know, your dad would love to see these pictures. You know, I know these pictures he would love to see, you know. And then he said the most interesting thing. He goes, he riffs about something, and he goes, you know, he goes for the card, excuse me, for the cards that I've been dealt, and for the cards that I've been dealt. Oh, I know. At first he goes, my dad's been gone for 20 years. And I thought, holy shit, now I'm about to get the water. You know, I'm like, I'm really just trying to tell this guy. And then he goes, my dad's been gone for 20 years or something like that. And then he says, I say, I know, but, you know, and I didn't want to tell him about, you know, that I'm a dad, and, you know, how pictures are really meaningful to me. And I said, man, I know your dad would love to see. I said, you look really good in these pictures. I said, your dad would love to see these pictures. I know that. And he goes, you know, he goes, I'm not bitter for the cards that I've been dealt. And it's interesting, because I'm like, you could tell clearly he was, because I remember something I heard a long time ago that, you know, anyway, he was just opened up, and he's like, you know, and I just told him, I said, man, you got a great look, and I appreciate you letting me take your picture. And anyway, that was just 440, dude, and that was just the magic of being there and just. And I told him, I said, man, I know your dad would love to see these pictures, and I say this because, you know, as I drive around, I do this Johnny Travelog. I have pictures of my own children, and I have, you know, there's been a few times of parenting that I can say as a GPS tells me where to drive. I could say there's a couple moments that I did right, I did well. And when I took my kids to Destin, Florida, I knew in my heart that I needed to get some pictures made of my kids. And I wanted a picture of me and my kids. And I won't show that picture because I'm a very private person and I want to respect my kids. They're both beautiful, healthy, happy, loving. But I'm in this, like, we're in this hotel and we're in Destin, Florida, and I get these pictures. And it just so happened, air quotes, where I'm walking out this hotel and there just happened to be this professional photographer. And I just said, dude, is there any way I could pay you? And, you know, you can take our picture. And anyway, I spent, you know, whatever it was, but she took the best pictures, and I carry these pictures around with me. And I look at photography, and I look at people, and I look at that. I'm like, you know, that's the beauty of photography, you know, is, you know, when shit goes down, the things that you most value, things that you're left with, or sometimes the things that you hold on to are just those pictures. And anyway, there's my love of photography and 440, dude. And anyway, remember, send light and love to do today. You know, somebody out there needs your love, needs your light, needs your perspective. And you know, Jackie Robinson, 42. You know, I'm kind of mad at UCLA right now because I got my fucking truck booted. They almost threatened to impound my truck. But I love UCLA. And number 42, you know, Jackie Robinson's quote, it says, you know, the significance of a life really only is important relative, or I think the quote says, a life is only as important as its impact on other people. You know, and I just want you to remember that as you're doing your thing. The importance of our lives really are only important relative to how we impact others. And you know, I'll skip this story and go straight into it. But you know, one of my greatest, I don't call him a hero, but he wasn't a foster dad, but he was a man that I lived with, and he and his wife opened their home up to me. And I wasn't a part of the foster program, but I was that kid that could have very easily, had I not had a grandmother, gone into the foster program or the juvenile program. Statistically, that's where I was going. And this man from a little Church of Christ, man, there's very few things I can say good about the Church of Christ, but man, I tell you, Elo Harrington, holy fuck that man. And you know, I called Elo and asking him for help and said, Elo, dude, what's going on, dude? I heard his 85-year-old voice, and you know, Elo Harrington, I'll tell you that story another time, but man, he had a huge impact on me, and he was I'll tell you that story, and you won't believe it, because a lot of these stories you won't believe, and I think that's another reason why I take photos, so that people are like, man, you would not believe I saw the old man by the sea today. Check it out, man. You know, hashtag Malibu Beach, Malibu, the old man by the sea. You know, I saw him. I saw 440 dude, and I even met a most beautiful girl walking by, and holy shit, 444 bitch, holla. All right, guys. Anyway, UCLA, fucking booted my whip. Anyway, that's your 10 minutes, baby. You guys be good. This GPS telling me I need to turn. You guys have a good day. Remember, email me, americana417@gmail.com. Follow me at hashtag Fibonojji or at Fibonojji. Got lots of stories, man. These last 3 days have been crazy, you know. I met up with a brother I haven't seen in 10 years. That's its own story. Talked to another brother. He just dropped me $1,000. That's another story. LO is another story. Man, I got MRA shit on my heart. Taking old man by the sea pictures. Holy fuck. And I think I'm going to sue the UCLA police, you know, just to kind of make a point. I know that's its own story. You know, just like just a little extortion that they do. They just do this little extortion, you know, and it's something so small that, you know, but you start thinking of the thousands of people that UCLA does this to, and, you know, you're talking millions and millions of dollars, just a little bit of, you know, taking extortion from people, and I know that's random, but I'm sharing with you these past couple of days, and you know, and I'm thinking, man, you know, why can't I just be like normal and like just totally not fucking care and just pay the fucking $1,000 and move on? But I'm like, you know, dude, like, I'll tell you why. And you know, I'll always be a dude from Oklahoma. I'll always be that kid from Duncan. I love Duncan. I love Oklahoma. And you know, there's not a lot I can say good about Oklahoma. I mean, in terms of the state, the people are awesome, beautiful, most beautiful people. But everything else but Oklahoma, the landscape is actually very beautiful, and the people are impeccable. But the government's very corrupt, the schools suck, and everything else sucks. Oh, I'm sorry, and the Indians are there. So the Indians, the people, and the land, and they have really good weather, believe it or not. Oklahoma doesn't get near the credit. #Thunder. But, you know, the road system in Oklahoma is corrupt, dude. I mean, it's modern day Chicago mafia. Like, the roads suck, and they have all these tolls, and there's so much bullshit that goes on with that. And you know, I'm closing here. Let me put some closing music on, so I know I need to keep these things short. But, like, you know, on my Twitter, if you go to @Fibonojji, you'll see this quote that I saw at a church parking lot. It says, you know, evil only continues as long as good men do nothing. And I saw that quote. I even took a picture of it, believe it or not, and a little black and white. That good only prospers as long as, or only triumphs as long as good men do nothing. And I think about the billions of dollars that Oklahoma has extorted out of the people because of the corruption of the tolls in Oklahoma, which nobody cares about because it's Oklahoma, and nobody, even Oklahoma cares about, but I do. And I started thinking about the billions and billions. I'm like, fuck, you know what? I have a voice. I can say something. And then, you know, in UCLA, they booted my fucking truck at $1,000. It was so weird, man. They booted it, and my brother hit me the grand to do it, and then they wouldn't release it even after he hit the grand because I had to have 150 cash money. It's so weird, and I'll document all this shit. And I had to have $150 cash money to get the boot off. But they called me and they're like, dude, you have to bring cash and you have to come in 30 minutes. And I'm like, am I fucking doing a drug buy or paying the UCLA police? And, you know, I even got an event number, and they wouldn't even I'm asking for an incident report. They would not give me an incident report. And I literally stood in their office and I said, dude, your job is to enforce the law. I said, who is supposed to enforce the law? And they said, we are. I said, well, then I want to enforce the law about booting people. You can't legally boot somebody's vehicle, you know, and I have all those laws. Like, you cannot immobilize a vehicle for 2 or 3 days, and then it's extortion. And, you know, there's laws, and there's 96 hours. All these laws I was researching. I'm like, they're not even following the fucking law. They're just basically booting these fucking cars, and they're catching thousands of dollars every fucking day. And I'm like, dude, why can't I just go take pictures? All right, guys. Because I'm not, you know why? Because I'm Jonathan. That's why. You guys be good. Email me, Americana417@gmail.com. Nigga, holla, Malibu! That's me, nigga.